Good evening. We're live and local on Real Country Legends 96.3, presented by Dillon's Bayou at Pleasant Harbor Marina. Our featured local artist tonight is Hollywood Yates, and you can catch Mr. Yates this Friday at Dillon's Bayou, right there on the water at Pleasant Harbor Marina. We are live and local this Wednesday night with Hollywood Yates and his lead guitarist, Paul. Paul, how you doing over there?
Good. How you doing?
Excellent. How about you give me a little...
Woo!
Now, Hollywood, can I call you Hollywood?
Yeah, I would prefer that. You know, I get people that come up all the time and they call me by my first name. You know, my I guess given name when I was a child, and they go, or they ask, they say, "What's your name?" And I say Hollywood, and they go, "No, what's your real name?" And I go, "It's Hollywood." And they go, "No, what's your God-given name?" And I'm like, "Well, let's see, I was baptized Hollywood, so if God's going to call me Hollywood, I guess you should too."
There you go. Doing my research, jumped on your website, HollywoodYates.com. You've got music up there, which we'll come back to, but also acting and rodeo. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you know, I started off as a singer. I started off as an Elvis impersonator when I was 7 years old. You know, he passed away when I was 7, and I watched how he affected the world, like how many people just loved that man. And I thought there'll never be anybody like that again on earth, but if there is, I want to be that guy. And so I started as an Elvis impersonator, and I sang in clubs with my grandfather. You know, my grandfather owned nightclubs all my life. And but then when I was 15, I actually started fighting bulls out here at Estrella Park, just west of town. I fell in love with it. Rodeo was something that I wasn't naturally good at. You know, I mean, my athletic ability kept me from getting hurt, you know, because it was very hard for the bulls to get me. But that's not the job. The job is to slow down and to make sure that you protect the riders. And like, I would go through so fast that the bulls wouldn't even see me, and they would still hit the rider, you know. So it was something that I had to learn how to slow down. I had to, you know, learn how to overcome my, you know, natural instinct to run from a, you know, charging bull and run at them now, you know. So it was something that really kept my interest, and it took me a bit to get good at. And, you know, fortunately, I've had a great 33-year career in rodeo. I've been to the national finals 3 times, twice as a bullfighter in the Wrangler bullfights, once as a barrelman in the Wrangler bullfights. I've worked the turquoise circuit finals, I think twice as a bullfighter, and now twice as a barrelman, because I just worked it a couple weeks ago. You know, I've been very fortunate to have a great career in rodeo, and I've had an acting career. I was a professional wrestler for, about 7 years. NBC came calling and picked me up to be Wolf on American Gladiators. Well, they picked me up to be on American Gladiators. It took a while for us to come up with the name Wolf, but so I went with the Gladiators and had a good, you know, couple seasons, and then once that quit, I decided to go back to music and rodeo.
Live and local this Wednesday night on Real Country Legends 96.3. Hollywood Yates is with us. Don't forget, he will be at Dillon's Bayou this Friday, right there, Pleasant Harbor Marina. You can catch him taking the stage at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. till 11 or later. I don't know. Sometimes I just break the rules and keep going.
Now, I've got to ask, you played everywhere. You've played all sorts of places.
I played everywhere, man. I played everywhere. No, go ahead.
No, that's one of my favorite songs. I love it. But is there a specific show, maybe one performance, or where you were, who was with you, that really sticks out as a favorite memory?
Well, as a favorite memory, then yeah. I was going to say I've had so many amazing shows and got to work with so many really cool people. You know, I've shared the stage with... you know, Jamie Johnson and different people like that, and I've become friends with a lot of these people. But the one thing that probably stands out as really, really cool, and the band that I had with me on that gig, they were like, dude, highlight of my music career, is we were doing a bunch of shows in Nashville, Tennessee during CMA Fest, and we headlined over at the Hard Rock. We had a lot of really cool shows. But we were doing an afternoon show at what then was known as, I think it was called Cadillac Cowboy. And Johnny Cash's sister, Joanne Cash, came to the show with a friend of mine who is Johnny's niece, and Kelly. And so she brought her in, and we were doing our show, and I introduced her to the crowd, said, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have a legend in the house, Miss Joanne Cash, and if she would I would really love to get her up to sing with us. And she got up and we did Jackson together, which was, hands down amazing. And I didn't know the song as well as I, needed to. And I told her when she was getting up on stage, I go, hey, I might forget some, words. And she goes, I'll lead you, baby. And so like she would grab my hair, and grab my jacket when I was supposed to say, the certain things. And we had a blast. And then she walked off stage and I said, I want to do one more for you. And I did Folsom Prison for her, and she teared up a little. And it was just really special. And I used to wear one of Johnny's guitar picks around my neck all the time when I performed, but it started getting a little brittle, and I didn't want to, ever lose that. So now that is hanging in my house, and it was given to me by the family. So that was a very special day for me, was to get to sing with Joanne Cash.
Shoot, absolutely, man. That's amazing. It's Hollywood Yates with us on a live and local Wednesday night. You know what? Let's do, how about a couple of rapid fire questions? Does that work for you?
That'll work.
All right, here you go. Calf roping or bull riding?
Bull riding.
I knew that one after our conversation, but I thought I'd throw it in there. Go-to comfort food?
Pizza.
Always pizza. Good choice, good choice. Deep dish or thin?
Hand tossed.
Netflix on the couch or movie on the big screen?
Oh, movie on the big screen.
Really?
Yeah, you got to experience a movie.
All right, truck or muscle car?
Oh, gosh, that's tough, because I drive a truck, and it gets me all over the world and has, been my tool, of choice, for rodeoing and to get me everywhere. But, man, if I could have me a 51 Mercury built, I would love to have that car.
There you go. Now you got Alan Jackson all in my head.
Yeah.
All right, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4? Mr. T or Ivan Drago?
Got to go with Drago. I mean, sorry T. But you got to go with the Drago thing, and him going to Russia and training in the snow, and it's like, all right, there you go.
Right. The reason I had to ask that, we got in a debate about that the other day with somebody in my office, and they were pushing really hard. I mean, come on, Mr. T, Clubber Lang, he was unbeatable. And then Rocky had to train with Apollo Creed, the former da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, well, did he stop communism single-handedly?
Exactly.
Nope, that was Rocky IV. Thank you very much. Well, Real Country Legends 96.3, we are live and local with Hollywood Yates, and it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. And Paul, thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming out, Paul, too.
Unfortunately, it's about time to wrap things up, so let's close with an original of yours. Can you tell us a little about this one?
Yeah, this one is actually the title track to my album. It's called Like We Used To. And a buddy of mine, Arliss Albritton, is the main writer on this, and he used to manage Jamie Johnson. And when I was putting this album together, I called a bunch of my buddies out there in Nashville and said, hey, I'm looking for songs. I told them what I was looking for, a little bit of that older school country, sound. And he sent me this. He sent me about 10, 15 songs, and I kept listening to this one, and I was like, God, I really like that, but it's been done by somebody before. And then it finally hit me that it has the same feel to it as I Don't Think Hank Done It This Way by Waylon Jennings. And so once I put the two together, I'm like, oh, that's why I thought, that it was something else. So it's just a cool, fun song, and it's basically about, how things have changed, how it's not the same as when we were younger, and you grow up and things change, and it's not like it used to be. So it's a great song. It's called Like We Used To.
This is from Hollywood Yates, and it's on Real Country Legends 96.3.
We don't climb water towers to confess our love like we used to. We don't break beer bottles on city limit signs like we used to. We don't love a man, leave him, call him back when we've been drinking. Don't have a black book to go through like we used to. Like we used to. Yeah, we run around like our days were numbered, chasing good times, living for the summer. Man, I'd love to sit down and have us a beer or two, like we used to. his toes like we used to. We don't line 'em up screaming cuz bumper deep in the mud. See what our old trucks can go through like we used to. Like we used to. Yeah, we run around like our days were numbered, chasing good times, living for the summer. Man, I'd love to sit down and have us a beer or two, like we used to. We don't wear our high school jackets with pride like we used to. We don't sit up on the hood and dream of something better like we used to. Like we used to. Like we used to. Yeah, we run around like our days were numbered, chasing good times, living for the summer. Man, I'd love to sit down and have us a beer or two. Yeah, we run around like the days were numbered, chasing good times, living for the summer. Man, I'd love to sit down and have us a beer or two, like we used to, like we used to, like we used to, like we used to. We don't climb water towers to confess our love like we used to.
This has been another edition of Live and Local Wednesday night, presented by Dillon's Bayou at Pleasant Harbor Marina. My thanks to Hollywood Yates and lead guitarist Paul West for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having both myself and Paul out here, and appreciate you supporting local and local country musicians and live music. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate Real Country, and I appreciate you, Dillon.
It was a blast, my friend. And don't forget, you can catch Hollywood this Friday at Dillon's Bayou, Pleasant Harbor Marina. He's on stage 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. The legends roll on. It's Real Country Legends 96.3.